And then I was driving back from the show last night, and I'm listening to the radio, and I'm listening to the replay of the roundtable, the Superfan roundtable, and they had this topic about brought up this topic about Steve Langford, whether Steve Langford is a bad thing, not a communist, whether Steve Langford is a bad thing for the show because of all the stories he does about the Whack Packers. It's as if he's out to ruin people's lives. He's, and I believe the quote was, he's attacking people associated with the show, that came from Mutt, which I found very, ironic considering the fact that his website, his fan network does nothing. And I mean, there's a good, all right, let me say there's a small handful of people on there that are fans and enjoy and contribute and are funny. But for the most part, man, everyone on that fucking website shits on every single thing that comes out of these two channels and everybody that's on it. So for you to sit there and say that, how dare Langford attack people associated with the show, you're out of your fucking mind. How is it Langford's fault that these idiots keep doing stupid shit?
Illegal shit.
Right, right. And if you're a fan of Howard, who got you to do a fucking show once a week for 1 hour, then wouldn't you want his name to be represented in a little bit better of a light than a guy who scams limo companies, a guy who fucking scams bars? Look, these bars hired Jenks because they're fans of the show.
Exactly.
Right? And then they hear a bar got fucked over, and then they listen to the news, and there's a tip line. So people go, you think Langford puts an ad out in the fucking paper and is going, if anyone has any information on any Whack Packer? No, but people fuck up. That's life, man. And reporters report on fuck-ups. That's our society. We can't wait to fucking tear people down.
Yeah, and he's a newsman in the Howard Stern universe.
That's
and
right.
So that's, when there's an earthquake in China, NBC News is going to cover it. When Jenks fucks over somebody.
Yeah, so I don't understand how it's Langford's fault that these people are getting busted for shit. Right. And I thought it was ridiculous that he's sitting there saying, how can you attack people associated with the show? That's all that's fucking done on that side.
I looked on there the other day. She left the thing up, and I looked on there. There's somebody called Nigger Robin on there. And
that's actually Robin.
No,
so
but that's
it's okay.
That's okay.
No one would ever suspect it.
I mean,
it's fucking amazing.
That's Florentine's screen name, right? No, it's ridiculous. I mean, listen, I have no real love affair with that site. I know people from that site. When I was calling in, living in Vegas, I used to be on that site all the time. It was actually a fun site.
It was a fun site.
And there was a lot of good people on it that I still consider friends. But for the most part, I mean, it's just ridiculous to me that these people, all they do is shit. That's all they do is just shit on everything. They're not here. They're not contributing dog dick. And they're going to sit here and fucking tell you how everything sucks. Well, fuck you then. Don't be a part of it. Get the fuck on with your life. Yes, Mark.
I find this whole story amazing and hard to believe. You were actually listening to the roundtable?
Well, I was switching channels, and I listened to the roundtable. I'm not gonna lie. I want to know what fans think. I get it. I want to listen. I am a super fan at the end of the day. That's how I got my fucking gig here.
That's right. That's how we all fucking got it.
So I'm not gonna act like, I'm better than any of that. I'm interested in that shit, but I'm not gonna sit there and shit on something without, having an open mind enough to try and take something in.
When I had a site and somebody would bash Howard or say something bad, I would just get rid of him. That's so simple.
Look, if you don't
you
like
don't
the
need
show,
everybody on there. You don't need it.
Yeah, if you don't like the show, that's fine. People are entitled to their opinion. But every day to hammer and hammer it. And we had callers a couple weeks ago when we were talking about Jim Norton coming on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had a caller call in and go, how dare you have this Jim Norton on the show when these guys, O&A, they talked about Howard's family, Howard's ex-wife. What do you think's on that fucking message board every goddamn day about Howard's family, about Howard's wife? You guys have turned into everything that you fucking bitch about. And you're attacking your idol, and it's retarded. And that's why you have no one from the show on there.
And the whole thing is that if he's plugging his site and you don't have, say, you Google, as of a Stern Fan Network, you Google a Stern Fan Network or a message board, right? And it comes up to that. And would you buy XM or Sirius if you read that fucking thing? No. I would not.
No.
Yes, Al.
The other thing that makes it even dumber is, excuse me, all these people live to have their names mentioned on the Stern Show. They live for that.
Oh, they're all.
And then
most of them are stalkers.
Then
some of them are stalkers.
Then
really
they use
bad,
that.
and we cut them out of our lives.
They use that notoriety to take advantage of other people, like they're celebrities now.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get caught and Langford reports stories on them, now they want the publicity to stop. When what they're really dying for is have their names mentioned on the air. That's the only thing they live for.
What's interesting is I just Googled Nigger Robin right now, and it led me to RevBobLevy.com.
Look at that. Who knew that was
just
possible?
the nigger part. Yeah.
Nick in Lake Tahoe.
Hey guys, how you
What's
doing,
up, brother?
Hey, Steve Langford is doing his fucking job.
Exactly.
And doing a great job at that, might I add.
He's digging and digging deep for stories. I don't give a shit if they're about whack packers, if they're about anybody that's on the show. Howard, he always gets a...
Well, I think a lot of big places.
Right outside of San Juan?
Yeah.
We're going to
if you're
San
in
Diego,
Detroit,
and hopefully
Hey.
Eric the Midget can fucking do the gig. That would be nice of him, because they took away his Social Security, didn't they, or something? What happened to him?
Well, that's another thing. The Stern Fan Network is, Eric the Midget was selling those arty pictures. Somebody reported him, and he lost his SSI income, or he had to stop doing the pictures. And really, how much was he making off the pictures? Like,
Yeah, let the guy fucking live. I mean, what the fuck?
he's putting together a bucket list, for fuck's sake. Like,
I know.
really, you need
Who doesn't? Who doesn't have one of those?
I think actually that's
Yeah, but he
what
really
bucket he
needs
wants
it.
to see.
Yeah.
He really needs it.
I
Like,
mean, really, he wants to go on stage, and I talked to him on the side, and I said, look, if you want some help, we'll help you out with some jokes and that. And I said, if you feel good, do it. He goes, I'm going to the doctor again this week, and we'll see. And
I'm
hopefully
all
he'll
for
be there.
busting balls, man. We do it for a living,
Yeah.
but there's just a fine line between busting balls and just being
And
evil
now
and
being
cruel.
a stalker and that shit.
And that too,
Too many
you know?
fucking stalkers aren't there.
I had my Facebook page. I had tons of people I would let on my Facebook page, right? Anyone and everyone. And then somebody started taking pictures off my page and posting them on Stern Fan Network of my wife. And I don't want that on there. She's a civilian as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't need to be involved. She's not asking for her picture to be up there. So I don't want it up there. And I deleted like over 700 people. I said, I can't do this. Then I realized you can actually set it where only certain people can see your picture. So sorry, everybody.
Whoops.
But,
Hey, quick
what happened.
update. Mark
Yes.
just looked it up. Detroit to Columbus, 3.5 hours. So if you,
I know, it's a pain in the ass.
yeah, if you
All
have
right,
nothing
so
else
what?
to do for a day or two, go see him.
Well, Bob, how did you drive that in 40 minutes like you claim? It's 202
She
miles.
got a ticket she didn't pay, stole. I keep telling her to pay the fucking ticket. Yeah, I said it's gonna cost you. They're gonna take the car. It's been fucking 3 years now.
No, they won't take the car. They'll just arrest her because there's a warrant out for her arrest.
Honey, pay the fucking ticket. You're home now. Pay the fucking ticket.
I just think it's funny that Bob's wife is the only one who paid for a Bob Levy ticket.
Hey, Bob.
I wasn't
Bob,
driving. Yes, sir.
So, Bob, don't trash SFN. I know I like going on there just to read some of like the Photoshop stuff. It's like funny just to look at.
I agree with
But,
you. The
Bob,
Photoshop
you got
stuff's
your wife
great.
on there, dude.
My wife ain't on there anymore.
But
No,
he's saying
you
that's
met
where
on
you
there,
met
though.
your wife.
No, she was on there, but I met her actually when she hit me up and asked me about a show, and that's when I got attention to her. You know what I mean?
But also, you have to keep in mind that, we're not saying that it's always been shit. We're saying we enjoyed that site for the most part.
and there's still a lot of friends that were like
Absolutely.
Gina and Joe who were at my birthday party
Right.
and fucking.
And that's it.
And other people. No, there was other people.
No, there's other people.
Kevin and his wife were
There's
there
other
from there.
people. Listen, but for the most
You know?
part, it's kind of hardcore, man. I don't know about that shit.
And the stalking shit is getting out of hand. I mean, come on.
And how much meat can you eat?
Greg in Chicago.